Hi, welcome to the show. I'm Suzanne Lynn, and today, oh my goodness, grab a cup of coffee and a blanket because you are going to want to snuggle under as we are talking about vampires and paranormal and all kind of fun things like that with author Patricia Simpson as we talk about her book, Apothecary. Hello, Patricia. How are you today?
Hi, Suzanne. Thanks for having me on your show.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm excited because Apothecary is a series. Let's talk about that. The general meaning and what you're talking about.
Well, I wanted to kind of talk about why I wrote this series because I grew up in this little tiny town in Montana, very remote, and my parents moved there expressly because of the Red Scare, back in the 60s. And
remind us about that.
The Russians are coming. They're going to bomb us. They're going to invade us. And my parents said, we've got to go somewhere that's safe and we can be self-sufficient. Let's go to Montana.
Okay.
And so that's the mindset that I was raised in. Okay. And so now I've got this apocalyptic brain. And in the year 2012, we all supposed the world might be ending because of the Mayan calendar. And my brain said, wow, what if the world, something did happen? Could I survive? How would we survive? And that started the Londo Chronicles because it's after a nuclear mistake. And now there's this nuclear winter that's surrounding the planet. The only people that have survived are in London. And it's really misty there. Yes. And the people that are in charge are another race.
Okay. Might that race be vampires?
You are correct. And they are there's only a few of them. People don't know it. And they have to rule with an iron fist to keep their blood supply, healthy and surviving. And it's it's called commensalism, where you share a table. You don't really harm each other, but you're in this synchronous kind of living situation. But the humans don't know it.
So you love paranormal.
Oh, yeah. That's why I'm wearing this.
What's that?
It's orange and black for my favorite holiday.
Where did all that come from? I mean, I want to dive into the books, but my goodness, I mean, I know that, with your raising and everything, but what kept breeding that? What kept feeding it through your childhood into adulthood?
Well, I am a Dracula lover from way back. And when I was young, there was this film production from England called Hammer Productions, and they did monster movies that were really high-end and high-end actors, and they really fueled my love for the paranormal. Plus, when I was a kid, I was so weird. We were from such a small town. I read all the time. I believed in reincarnation and mummies and all that kind of stuff.
So I have to go there. Have you ever experienced anything personally?
Yes.
Paranormal?
Yes.
Do you share any of that in the books, or do you personally share ever?
Yeah. One time I went to Mexico. I was standing on the lanai of this timeshare my friend owned, and I was just staring out at the ocean. And I felt this presence next to me that was so strong that I turned to talk because I thought it was either my daughter or my friend. There was nobody there. And when I told my friend this years later, because it just didn't, mean that much to me at the time, she goes, that's odd you would say that, because the couple that used to live next door were always fighting, and we always thought something happened to that woman. Wow. And I think she was reaching out to me.
Oh my gosh, I told you get a blanket and coffee because this was going to be good. This is like no other interview we've ever had before. This is awesome.
Yeah, plus my daughter and I are doing a podcast right now because what else can you do during COVID?
Right.
It's called Freaking Paranormal, and we're exploring haunted places all around the world. So
what are some of the highlights? Where are some of the highlights that maybe some of us want to go vacation?
Try Turin, Italy. Oh my gosh, check it out. That's a very spooky place. Yeah, Italy, Mexico have a lot of paranormal stuff going on.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you had said that when people come up to you in a book signing, I mean, yeah, they talk about your books and vampires and everything, but really it's the paranormal that brings them in. Do you have plans of bigger paranormal series?
Well, I have a Forbidden Tarot series that I wrote like a decade ago. That's all about tarot cards, and you look at a tarot card in the story, in the series, and whatever you see on that card comes into your life, and you have to deal with it. And sometimes
Wow.
it's good, but most often than not, it's something really bad. It
Okay.
makes you, it makes you come to grips with yourself. And my books always have a message of love conquers all, and you are more than you think you are,
Wow.
especially women. Yeah,
You can accomplish more than you think, especially
yes,
women. Is that what you said?
you are braver than you think. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Um, what inspires you to write these? How do you know if it's going to be a paranormal or vampires? What does something trigger you in your life that you go, okay, this is my next series?
That's a really funny question, Suzanne, because during COVID, I vowed I was going to write something comedic, a rom-com, something,
I didn't
screenplay.
see that coming. Yeah.
And every time I start an outline, I go dark. I just have this dark streak where the hero has to be tormented and maybe even from another world.
I bet you were a fun mom when you were making up stories and tucking the kids in bed.
Yeah, we did a parody when my kids were like 3 years old, called Dustbusters instead of Ghostbuster. So we did a film. I had one of the very first video cams, so we did a movie. Yeah.
You talk about the fact that the moral to all the stories pretty much are that you're more than you think you are, and you can. Do you consider yourself a survivor? Have you had to go through some tough things?
No, but that's the thing that fascinates me. I like this kind of situation because I want to know that I can live through it. And I always told people, give me a Swiss Army knife and put me out in the woods because I need to know. I need to know if I can do it. But that's the way Montanans are,
Right.
We hunt, we fish, we eat pine trees,
Patricia, you're hysterical. You're just so much fun. I mean, I imagine with a podcast, you're getting some really good listeners because you're just a natural entertainer.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I wish I were funny deep in my heart because I would love to write something like Richard Curtis movies or something like, do you know Richard Curtis, the director?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you don't fight your natural instincts and you don't push through to do something that doesn't come natural. You just go, okay, that's just not who I am. I'm not going to fight what naturally comes to me.
I'm fighting it. I'm trying to write a screenplay in the month of November with NaNoWriMo, the big writer challenge, where, I'm going to try it.
You take on big things. Have you always been like that?
Yeah.
Big mountains. Look, there's a mountain. Patricia has to climb it.
I'm an overachiever, I guess. That's what my daughter says.
Very cool. What would you say is your biggest success outside of children and marriage? What is the thing that you're most proud about?
Most proud of is walking to lunch with an editor in Manhattan. I thought that was the pinnacle and it still is. That's one of the pinnacles of my life.
Wow.
I would also like to see one of my books on the big screen. That everybody that reads my book says, wow, I can just see this as a movie because the camera's rolling, Yeah.
It's made for it.
That's my next big dream. Before I die, which is not too far away, I think.
Well, I don't know. Based on your thinking, maybe you'll be reincarnated and you'll have another chance. You'll come back as a comedic writer. I don't know. Possible.
That's a great idea.
Patricia, you are just a joy to talk to. Thank you so much. Share with us one more time, Apothecary, where it's available.
Apothecary is available on all the online bookstores you could ever possibly think about. And it's also paperback. And also right now, I have it free as an audiobook on anchor.fm. If you want to try out this new series, you can listen to the whole book for free, which is a really good bargain because, audiobooks are very expensive.
Absolutely. Patricia, thank you for joining us. And please, if you get the book Apothecary by Patricia Simpson, rate it. Go on Amazon, go on Goodreads, and rate it. It means a lot to the authors. Patricia, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. I wish we had more time.
Yeah, me too. Bye-bye. Thank you, Suzanne.